Hi all, this is my cooking submission for the Dodecannual cooking challenge. Today I'm going to be cooking a chicken, nice and simple, and for dessert I'm going to be making what my family calls apple dumplings, but with a spin. You can put a pin in that pun for later. But first, alchemy. We need 2 teaspoons of peppercorns. If you don't live with a lovely professional alchemist and have a mortar and pestle at the ready, use plain old black pepper. Probably less, but always to taste. You know you. Get them all smashed up pretty good. Next, 4 cloves of garlic. 4 cloves. I'm not going to argue with you. When a recipe calls for 4 cloves, you obviously need 8. And we need 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. If you don't have kosher salt, what are you doing with your life? A tablespoon of oregano. Not much to say about the oregano. It's Greek chicken, needs oregano. Need 1 lemon zested. Slice half of that baby up really thin, and the other half you're gonna quarter. So that's gonna give us about a 1/2 tablespoon if you wanted to measure that out. Add that to the mix there. And then, like I said, we're gonna cut that lemon in half. And then slice that really thinly. We're gonna save these babies for later. It's like half circles. You know, it's gonna be handy for later. So, go ahead and cut those in half. Those are going to sit there for a little while until we get the chicken ready. And we're going to quarter the rest here. Next you will need 2 fingers of scotch. With or without rocks, up to your taste. You're going to want to let that simmer in your belly, slowly adding more as the recipe continues. Now we need some aromatics. Find what you have hanging out in the fridge. Hopefully some celery, some carrots, some onions. Now I don't keep my onions in the fridge because I like a good painful cry. But if cutting onions bothers you, store them in the fridge. It's not so bad when they're cold. Chop all that up fairly large, but chompable. They're not the main veg we're going to focus on. Our main veg is going to be these long boys. What I'm going to do is snap the ends off and get that fiber down. Now what we're doing is just making a little nest for our long boys here and the chicken. So we got this nice and spread out. I put a little Greek herb seasoning on there just to make it look, I don't know, dirty. Make the pan look dirty. I don't want you to think you were eating clean food. So we're going to complete the nest here for the burb. Spread that out. Enough to fit your little chicken. And then we're going to take these this quartered lemon here, put a little spritz I'll leave the lemons in there. Now that the initial alchemy and aromatics are complete, it's time for the anthropomancy. Whoops, wrong video. I mean surgery. It's time for the pluck de resistance. We're going to take our whole chicken. Take your whole chicken, place it breast down. I prefer poultry shear. So, you want to find the spine here. Oh, tense. Here, let's massage the chicken. It's better. Good. More relaxed. Yeah. So we find a little spine here. We're just going to put the blades right up next to it. Just cut straight down. Not straight down, but straight back. Okay, we got this baby open. Yummy. Check that out. Nice, right? So, make sure you can see this. It's a little like star pattern, kind of piece of cartilage. I'm going to take that, take a nice sharp knife, and just pop in there. I want like an inch in or so. That releases this and lets you flatten it out a bit more. So now you can kind of really crack that open. Okay. You can remove the spine if you want. It's required that you yell fatality when you do it. I don't know. I don't mind leaving it. So you really just, the goal is to get it as flat as possible so you get like a nice, quick, even cook. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and flip her back over. Hello there. It's dancing for me, not for you. So we're going to do something sneaky with our little mixture here. Wash my hands real quick. You want to add just enough olive oil to kind of make it into a nice paste. We'll need a little bit more moisture. There we go. That's kind of what you want there. You want to slap it on there and have it like stay. Not totally drip off, kind of just stay where you put it. We're going to set that aside for 1 minute. Scotch time. Okay, now, those sneaky little lemon slices. Here's what we're going to do with those. For cooking, I think you want to try to tuck those babies in there a little bit. You don't have to. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them. They're kind of fun to play with. Not really. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these little lemons here. We're going to find some nice spots in the skin. Bird's got some nice skin here. We're going to go under the arm here. Just into the skin. You don't want to cut into the meat there. Just enough. Just enough. So you got room to slip some lemons in there. Slide them around. There we go. You just need an entrance. That's it. And you can move them around. So, got a little entrance. Your lemon's going to squeeze up. So, you know, you don't need to make it lemon-sized hole to fit in. You can kind of squish the lemon. It'll flatten out once you get in there. Okay. Oh, don't get all lumpy. Yeah, you don't want to pile them all up in one spot either. You want to spread them out. Okay, so that's nice. Nice over the breast is really what I'm, you know, I want more flavor in there. The legs and thighs are going to be lovely, but The main event, I think, as we all know, is the breast. So do the same thing over here. I'm going to cut a little slot, just enough to fit those slices in. Okay, so you got your lemons all nice and spread out. You got your chicken as flat as it's going to be. Oh yeah, it's a nice flat chicken. All right, now you want to put our little herbal mud mask on this baby. Pop a couple spoons on, and give it a nice massage. Let it spread pretty evenly. It's going to give you nice crispy skin. Delicious. Tenderize the meat. Nice massage. There we go. Probably wouldn't hurt too if you got plenty of this extra paste there and you haven't lost the secret hole. Shove a little underneath there and let it get into the chicken. Now we're ready to lay in the burn on them green beans. Here comes the burb. There we go. And we're gonna toss that bird for about 40 minutes at 450 degrees into the oven. The internal meat temp is 165, so depending on your oven and size and everything, that 40 minutes is more guidelines than anything. Other than that, if you want like a really nice crispy skin and you're not quite getting it, if you move your rack up to the top, get the broiler going a little bit and get that crispy skin, because the crispy skin is the good stuff. All right, we're gonna clean up here and we're gonna prep for dessert. So Kelly came to check on the burb and then reminded me that I forgot the potatoes. So I just got some red potatoes, cut them up with a little bit of olive oil and rosemary and salt, tossed them and threw them on the pan with the birdie, and birdie's in the oven now. So we're gonna work on the dessert. This is, my mama used to make these for us all the time, apple dumplings. She used to do a very basic, it's a pretty simple recipe. Apple, core it, peel it, shove a pat of butter into the core hole, and add like a cinnamon sugar mix. Kelly got me a fancy like spiralizer thing for Christmas, so I'm using that. I'm spiraling the apples. We're gonna see how that goes. And instead of doing the pads, I'm gonna mix everything up and use a hand mixer and an emulsifier. And I'm gonna make like a little cinnamon sugar butter that I can pipe into that. So let's get started with that. Okay, so what we got is our butter. We're using 6 large Fiji apples, just because I really like their sweetness. Not too sweet, but they also cook really nice. And we have about a cup and a half of brown sugar, 3 sticks of butter, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1.5 teaspoons of cardamom. We need cardamom in all the baked goods. So we're gonna take this butter here. You want to set it out and let it be, warm up. If you're gonna do the emulsifying, just makes it a lot easier. If you're gonna just do the pads, just cut it up about yay size. You're gonna end up snapping them in half and kind of cramming them in there, and then just loading a cinnamon sugar in the middle, and then topping it with another butter. But we're gonna emulsify this, and I've never done this before, so let's see how it works out. Okay, looks nice and baggable. Next, we're gonna move on to the pie crust. Another little something I do, and I used to make them kind of all the time for holidays, was I'd stick a whole fresh cranberry in there with the mix. Especially with using a sweeter apple, you get like a nice tartness there in the middle, which is nice. My pie crust recipe is going to be for another time. We're not focusing too much on that. So this is just good old store-bought pie crust, and that's going to work just fine. So the way Meme used to do it was basically you take one of these babies, you cut it in half, and basically you get 2 apples out of 1 pie crust. You just kind of wrap it up like it's you know, this cellophane like gift plastic stuff. You kind of just sit it in it, put everything in, wrap it up, and kind of tweak the top there. I'm gonna try to do a nice little lattice on these and give them a little pizzazz. A little pizzazz. Not good at straight lines. Straight lines are quite the challenge. My brain's too squiggly. Whoop. Okay, there's one. Scoot this out of the way. So what are we gonna need for 1 apple? Let's find out here. What do you think? So like I said, I haven't done that like this before, but the issue I'm seeing right away is that all butter is just going to leak right out the bottom. So we are going to take a little bit of that pie crust and just make a stopper in the bottom for the first one. Just like that. And who's the star of the show? Who's the first one? You, buddy? You looking good? Okay. I'll pop you right there. Take that top bit of peel off there. So, like I said, I used a spiralizer on it. Just made it, you know, like a little slinky. Let's go ahead and fill that baby up. And let's try out some lattice work on an apple, huh? How's this gonna work? Come along with me and discover, won't you? Kelly, won't you? Okay, so I tried lattice, and guess what? Did not work. So we're gonna ignore experiment 626 here and put experiment 626 to the side and do it Meme style. We were so focused on if we could lattice an apple dumpling that we didn't stop to think if we should. And now we have 2 abominations we're never gonna speak of again. Okay, everybody? Clear? Good. One came out as like a weird octopus. Just okay. So we're doing it how Meme would. We're going to take half our pie crust here. We don't want the skin on there. Carly, it's an apple. You don't want an apple. Okay. And we're going to take our other apple here. And we're going to pop that on there. Fill them all, both with this nice buttery cinnamon sugary goodness. And we're going to wrap these babies up. Just kind of tuck in the spots where you can. If there's extra, there's extra. Cut it off. Save that pie crust. So this is Meme style. She kind of just did that and then balled it up, and then that was it. Nice and all put together. Ooh, the chicken's getting excited in there. A nice snowball, boom. Ooh, that chicken smells nice. How you doing on that scotch? Did you refill yet? You probably should have refilled by now. Okay, we're going to fill these babies up again with our little concoction here. And then same as the other, just fold everything in. Should be clear that any present you get from our family, Kelly's the one wrapping it, which I feel like it's pretty obvious from watching me do these. Look at that, nice clean folds. Perfectly lumpy, just like me. Look at that snowball. Okay. And there's our beauties. Don't look at the octopus one. Or the mummy looking one. Just focus on the snowballs. Here. Here we go. If we just look at that. I made 4 beautiful apples. You stay over there. Okay, next we're just gonna do a egg wash. Just because with all things baked, it's nice to have that nice little shine on it. Yeah, just makes them look pretty. Nice, shiny, presentable. And then we are going to have a lot more leftover sugar and butter than I really expected to, since I was winging it with this style. But, so what my mama used to like to do. Here, I'll tilt you back up. What my family likes to do is take, there we go, you know, delicious, healthy things, and then if there's extra butter and sugar you can add to it, you just do that. So the nice fruits that are full of butter and sugar and cinnamon. We're going to take all the leftover butter and sugar and cinnamon, cook it down into a nice sugary, cinnamony syrup, and then when these are done cooking, drizzle it over it. Yeah, but let's get that egg wash on there. You don't want to see me. These dumplings are much bigger than these dumplings right here. Kelly's laughing at me. If you got a pastry brush, you already know how to do this and what to do. If not, I just take a couple paper towels, fold them, double fold them, and then you get the little ravelly parts here. You just dip it. Works fine as a brush for this, especially since it's no yolk, you know? Getting all that egg out of that brush. So when you're done with this, you can just toss the paper towel and you're good to go. So if you haven't done this before, you basically just want to give it everywhere you want it to be shiny. So the whole thing for here. Yeah. So we're going to cue the flash hyperspeed right now. Okay, and then these babies are ready to get popped in the oven. Basically, with anything with a pie crust, you want like 350, 375. I'm going to put these, just because they're nice, tight, packed little apples here, I'm going to put them in for 375, probably 20 minutes or so. You really just got to watch the crust on these. It really depends. And I'm using the convection here, so they're going to cook up pretty quick. And we've got about 12 minutes left on this chicken, and then I'm going to throw these babies in. In the meantime, okay, so we are out of the oven. The time on that was 40 minutes. I ended up giving it an extra like 10 minutes at 500 just to crisp it up a little more. The wings are a little toasty, but right under here is some nice, really nice skin there. We have company over. A lot of you know Jay. Jay just happens to be over visiting today while I'm doing this, so him and his wife Hillary are going to taste test, and I will plate this and add that to the video as well. And there we have it. That is the main course, and I will give you another video of the apple dumplings when they come out.
Rock on.
Okay, here's our dumplings all set. They ended up taking 20 minutes at 375 like I thought they would, and you end up getting that nice shiny crust there. And you've got a beautiful steamy apple with all that nice cinnamon goodness. We have to go because Jason needs to eat this right now. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. This will now be